Hey, it's your boy Chango coming at you with another video. This video is Theo and Donald Trump talk about addiction and sobriety. You know, what a time to be alive. You got the former president, potential new president, on Theo Von's podcast. Wild. Just absolutely wild. You know, your boy Chongo isn't very big into politics, but I saw this on my feed and I just had to do it. Anyways, I'm excited. Let's get right into it.
Yeah. I noticed at the events you don't drink, and you don't drink or smoke, right?
I don't drink or smoke.
You never have.
No, I never have. I had a great
Crazy.
brother who taught me a lesson. Don't drink. And he said, don't smoke. He smoked and he drank, and he was a great guy. He was a very handsome guy.
Is he older? He was older?
Quite a bit older, yeah. And he had a problem with alcohol and smoke a lot. But, I tell people, no drugs, no drinking, no cigarettes.
Yeah.
I tell that to my kids all the time. I'd say, no drugs, no drinking, no smoke. And
It was tough.
he'd always tell me, he'd say, never. So he was, really old enough that you would look up to somebody, and I'd look up to him anyway.
Did you admire him?
Yeah, I admired so much about him. He had so much going. He had the look. He
What
had
was his name?
Unbelievable personality, like an incredible personality.
What was his name, Donald?
His name was Fred Trump. And he had a problem with alcohol. He got addicted to it because they say alcohol is tougher than drugs to get off of. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
I'm in recovery, actually. I've been in recovery, so like most of the last 10 years.
From alcohol?
From drugs and alcohol.
So which is worse?
For me, drugs is the problem, but if I have a drink, then it's tougher for me to prevent myself from getting.
It sets off a chain.
Yeah.
But which is harder to quit? I've heard alcohol is harder to quit than drugs, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can only imagine because it's probably more readily available.
More readily, and it's social, and you're sitting and everyone's drinking and all.
Yeah,
'Cause
rarely do
nowadays
you go to a
everyone's taking
dinner and
drugs.
everybody's eating Xanaxes or something, for
Yeah, right.
appetizers. Usually people are having like a mint julep or something a little fancier, Negroni I just learned about.
Right.
But yeah.
So you have a problem with that then?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've had, it's been in my family. My family, it's like, yeah.
Can
it's tough.
you stay away from it?
Yeah, I've done a good job. I mean,
So how long have you been off?
I go to recovery meetings. I've been off most recently a little over 2 years.
Do you ever go back on?
Yeah, I've had stints where I go back on
And you don't control it?
it's tough. It goes downhill
No
pretty quick.
kidding. So
You think it's going to be easy.
You think you're controlling it?
And then you're damn.
Boy,
Yeah, you're
that's
doing
tough.
your go-kart and racing with hookers and stuff. It gets bad.
Just not to do it, right?
Right. So then in the end, you're like, I have to not do it.
I like the advice that Trump's giving, right? Like, just don't do it. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't, none of that shit, right? And yeah, that's great advice, but is it practical? Right? Like, sometimes you just gotta live a little, right? Like, yeah, if you have never drank ever, I mean, he claims he's never drank, right? Never? Like, what does that feel like? I mean, I guess if you've never had it before, right? You've never drank ever, right? Then you don't have that temptation. You don't know what you're missing out on, right? I mean, it's like being born blind, right? Yeah, you don't know what it's like to see, so it's like it's just the norm for you, right? But like, I mean, that's like telling someone that's trying to lose weight, don't ever indulge. Don't ever fucking eat Twinkies. Don't eat that fucking bacon. Just don't do it. Yeah, that's simple advice. That's good advice, but is it practical? Like, probably not. Like, don't eat that cake. Don't eat that pizza. Like, he means well, right? I mean, that is solid advice. It's just, I don't know that too many people can follow it. It just takes discipline. And I got to tell you right now, most people aren't disciplined. So, anyways, let's carry on. I'm interested to see where he goes with this.
Did you see, like, with your brother, could you see it or anything? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Man.
I
that's
was
a bummer.
amazed because he had so much going, he had everything going. I think it happened in college at a fraternity maybe, or I don't know, somewhere along the line it happened, and all of a sudden, this is not unique. This is a very common story, unfortunately, but and then the family would see it and start to notice it, and it didn't get better.
It's rough,
It didn't get
man.
better. I was amazed. He lived for so long in bad conditions. In terms of, I was amazed that his body could hold out. It held out, and it had bad moments. But his body was unbelievably strong that it could withstand this.
Yeah, it's a body.
You know,
Your body's
this-
just so resilient.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time that you saw him or spent with him?
I do, and
I'm sorry to ask you about it. Is
yeah,
that all right?
no, it's the
Theo.
reason it's good talking about it is it might help other people. If it helps one other person, it's worth the conversation.
We talk about that
There
stuff
you
a lot
go.
on our podcast.
Yeah.
A lot of our audience struggles or has struggled with alcoholism, addiction, intimacy disorders, all types of stuff. So it's like it's pretty kind of normal conversation. But
The interesting thing is, and I tell people, so I never had a cigarette, and I've never had a glass of alcohol. And my brother was incredible. He would tell me, because he knew he had a problem, and he'd say, don't ever drink, don't ever smoke. He'd always add smoking, because he did smoke a lot,
That's the
which
worst.
was, not very healthy. But he'd say, don't ever drink, don't ever drink. He'd tell me every time, I said, don't ever drink, because he knew he had this addiction. And I never had a glass of alcohol. Never, ever did I have a glass of alcohol because of him. And I would say that if I
That's
did drink, I
crazy.
could, conceivably be the type of
Could happen to you.
personality that would have,
yeah,
like you, that would have a problem. But I never had. And the only thing I say to people is, if too late for the people that you're talking about, but if you don't drink, you don't miss it. I mean, I don't even think about alcohol or
right. It's not a
anything.
part of your world.
I don't think about cigarettes. I
Yeah.
don't think about any of that. If you don't take drugs or if you don't have alcohol, it's real easy not to drink it. It's when I had a friend who went to the Wharton School of Finance with me. He was a very smart guy.
Where is it, Wharton School?
That's in Philadelphia. That's at Penn.
Oh yeah, Rocky.
Right. And it's a great school. Great.
If you guys ever get a chance to go to Philly and go up the Rocky Steps and that kind of thing, go ahead and do that. That shit was pretty sick. They got this big Rocky statue, which is, God, I grew up watching boxing. I grew up watching all that stuff. And being at the Rocky Steps, yeah, that was kind of like a bucket list thing, and I got to do it. So, yeah, it's pretty fucking sick. It's pretty sick. And then while you're at it, go ahead and get a Philly cheesesteak, right? I had a Philly cheesesteak from Philly, and I was impressed, I gotta say. New York pizza, not so much, right? But Philly cheesesteak, that's where it's at. Let's carry on.
Business school, and it's part of the University of Pennsylvania, the business school. At
Oh,
the
it's nice
university.
down there.
Yeah.
My friend's brother went there or something.
Well,
We ate near there
then he
once.
was smart because it's a great school.
At a,
And but this person that I met, he hated the taste of Scotch.
Hated
it. Couldn't stand it. But he insisted on having it because he felt it was important to be able to drink. I said, no, just don't drink. He said, to be successful in business, you have to sort of interact and you have to drink.
That's what I was
And I
saying.
said, don't do it. Anyway, he became an unbelievable alcoholic, uncontrollable alcoholic.
Oh, I thought you
And
meant like
he-
one
and
of the
he died.
best.
Yeah, and he died. He was but he hated the taste of Scotch,
And he still
and then
did
he
it.
couldn't
He
live
hated
without
the
it.
taste of
Literally.
Scotch.
Well, I think I notice a lot of like in the recovery rooms and stuff. It's a lot of people that they're missing something inside of them, and so
Could be.
they take on so they want to try and fill it up with something else.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time you spent with your brother?
I do, and he'd have periods where he'd get sick, very sick, and we thought we'd lose him or we lost him, then he'd get better. And that happened 5 or 6 times. I mean, where you thought you lost him, and then he got better. And it was amazing. I mean, he was, in a certain way, very strong in that sense. And I just tell people, it's so tragic. Don't drink. Just don't drink.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have a problem. Like even you, if you didn't drink, you would never have, but you probably maybe wouldn't be successful like you are. You know, it's part of your story, right?
It's helped me a lot. Yeah, because I don't know what would happen probably. I think it's just too risky.
It is risky.
What's something that you miss about him, or like that? Like what's something that you miss about him, Fred?
Well, he was wise in a sense. I mean, think of it. He's got this problem, and it was very important for him to convey to me not to have this problem. And I couldn't have been successful if I had that problem.
Yeah.
If I had that problem, and I think maybe I'm a personality type where I could have had the problem if I drank. But if you don't drink, you're never going to have it. I mean, I don't miss when I see somebody light up a cigarette and just they're in heaven. I don't miss that at all.
It's weird. It's so it's very Native American too.
Isn't it crazy?
It's bizarre. And you know, I think sometimes our older brothers, they kind of like, they take the speed bumps for us, like as younger brothers, so that we don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Does that, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like
I
my
think
brother
it's
went
true.
through a lot of stuff so that I didn't have to go through it, and then I get to see him and learn.
Is he okay now?
Yeah, he's doing great now. Yeah, he's doing great now. But it's like, yeah, that's one of the blessings I think of having an older brother. Is
Well, you
like,
can learn through history too, whether even if it's not a brother, it's
Yeah.
by watching other people. I mean, you can see if you have a friend who's an alcoholic, or even just by reading about people, you can learn.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a brother, but in this case, it was very personal. It was a brother, and I learned not to drink, and I learned not to smoke cigarettes. Now, I don't know that I would have smoked cigarettes. I probably would have drank. I think, you know, there's no reason not to drink, but I had a reason because he told me, you know, just
That was it.
don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of a blessing then, huh?
Yeah.
And where did you guys ever do anything fun together? Like one nice memory that you have with him?
He had a great talent for flying. He was a pilot,
Oh, sweet.
and he loved it.
That's
And
did
he,
you ever fly with him?
I did. I flew with him. He was a great pilot and a very talented. Other pilots would come to his house to study with him.
Watch him fly.
And he was really talented at that. But ultimately, he had to
cool.
give that because of the alcohol. He had to give that up, which was a hard thing for him to do, but he had to give that up.
Yeah, thank you for your time. I can't believe that I got to be able to sit down with you. I'm grateful to Dana White as well for setting this up. And
Yeah.
I just appreciate you giving me your time today,
Thank
Donald
you.
Trump.
It's
Thank
an
you so
honor, and
much.
good luck with your situation.
Yes,
You're
sir.
going to do it. You beat it, right? You
Oh, yeah.
beat it. Good luck with it.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much.
Wow, I can't believe I just watched that with my own eyes. Fucking Donald Trump, right? God. You know, he lost the popular vote twice. And there's a chance he might lose it again, right? So what does that mean? More than half the country, less than half the country absolutely loves him and are diehards, right? And more than half the country don't like him, right? But this video kind of gave you a more personal aspect of who he is, right? Like, I don't, like, if more people got to see this side of him, then he would be less revolting, I guess, for most people. And, you know, I like this, right? Like, this is cool, right? Because I hate the politics, right? I hate, like, I see it on my feed, and I said it before, like, you got Donald Trump and you got Biden. That's the best two we got. And so the left decided, yeah, this is stupid. Let's put someone else in, right? And maybe the right has to do the same, right? The problem is Trump would not allow that, right? He's not gonna give in. And that's, you know, I don't know, man. Like I said, it's a crazy time to be alive right now, right? And all I gotta say is go vote, right? Like, if you're not happy with the situation we're in, then go fucking let it be known what your thoughts are by by voting, right? Like, that's the best way to give your opinion, right? One way or another. And don't be so hateful. Like, do we really have to be so divided? You can cheer for your team, but you don't have to be a dick about it, right? I mean, it's almost like a sports fan at this point. Like, fuck your team sucks, it's gonna destroy the world, my team is better, look how great it is. Like, is that really a way to cheer for your team? I don't think so, right? I don't know, man. I'm just some dude fucking just giving out his opinions, and maybe you don't agree with it, but fucking let me have it. You think I'm a dummy head? Fucking put it down in the comments. Let's see what you got. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like everybody else. I don't like to be shit on, right? But whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, so the smoking, drinking, you know, that's no good, right? And I've had people close to me that just fucking derailed themselves from drinking, right? Just from drinking. It just fucking, I saw their downfall, right? But with that being said, I feel like you're more likely to give up drinking than smoking. Because holy shit. I would like to think that I'm disciplined enough to where if I decided to smoke, I can just give it up. Because that's the kind of person I am, right? But I don't know, man. Watching other people smoke, like, God, that shit looks rough, man. Like, I've seen people try to quit, and it's just not easy, right? And then, but anyways, now I'm just rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's all I really got. You guys take care. Peace out.